What's up, divas? I need to set up my screen. I actually was on time, and then Streamlabs had to update, which, like, my bad. Kerchow. You can go away. Put that over there. Where's my water? I need water. I just had chicken wings, and normally I don't really fuck with chicken wings, but these were so good. Okay. Boom. Boom. I really locked in. I made this entire thing today, and whenever I do that, they either turn out amazing or terrible, and this one turned out amazing and was like actually so slay rockstar. I'm really excited about this. And the main thing I'm excited about is that, like, I didn't try and shove in too much information. This was like the perfect topic. It was like the perfect amount of information, so we'll have plenty of time to chat and be on our cool vibe. How's everyone doing? I went to work today. It was cool. I actually had a really good day. The kids were chill. I subbed on the hallway that I used to teach on last year, and like the vibes back there are just incredible. It's like a hallway on the back of the school. Honestly, great hallway. Miss it. My comfort show. I so appreciate that. My water tastes disgusting right now. Okay. I hate when I can taste that my water is melted ice, not water. Which I know is the same thing, but I have like filtered water. Like I have a thing that filters it, and then I can tell when it's ice from the ice maker. Do you know what I'm saying? They taste different. I'm eating Drizzlicious. The chemicals in here are amazing. Oh my god, I have Drizzlicious in my lunchbox right now. I had it at work today and I forgot to eat it. No, because melted ice has a taste. So this water bottle, I put it on my, like, Amazon teacher wish list like a long time ago, maybe like 2 years ago. And I was like, no one needs to buy me this, but like, I'm just gonna put it on here. I was like, obviously like for the kids, but also like I wanted it, so I put it on there because why not? And someone bought it, which I was so surprised at. This is not the top that it came with, but I love this top because it's leak proof. When I got this, I don't think they have these tops, maybe, I don't know. So this is not a Stanley brand top. I think I bought this probably on Amazon, maybe at Walmart. One of those two places. And it was like $10, and I love it because it doesn't spill as easily. Because that's my only complaint about the Stanley, is that it spills really easily. Hey, I had a meltdown at work and DM'd you on TikTok. Oh my god. If you're in that moment, just know that like I'm also having a meltdown at work, so the chances of me replying are like in meltdown moment. We are not well. I teach 7th grade and my whole team is getting moved to a different district's campus next year because of construction. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Girl, we had a PD on culturally responsive teaching, and one of my parentheses racist coworkers said that she felt targeted. Like, imagine having such little self-awareness that during the anti-racist training, you're like, I feel really targeted. Because most racists would be like, oh, I shouldn't say that. You know what I mean? Like, I guess maybe enlightening that she said it. Lemur Banana, thank you for subscribing. Well, I'm glad you're back too. Oh my god. Okay, I think I caught up. Been a bit since I could be here. Welcome, Feral Florida Man. Oh, I just rammed my desk. My head is itchy. Probably because I haven't washed my hair in a minute. But my hair was like fried. When I was touring, I like tried to do something to it that I didn't know how to do, and I fried it using a really shitty straightener, which like that was my bad for doing that with no heat protectant. Like that was fully my bad. And my hair was like super fried. So I've just like completely stopped washing it and then putting Olaplex on it, and it's like coming back to life, and the texture is actually really good. I feel like this is going to be relatable if your hair texture is similar to mine. It being fried, like it kind of makes it easier to work with. If you get what I'm saying. Lost the bidding war on my dream house this morning after going 15 over asking. No, I'm so glad it's stream night because I've been crying all day. If that happened to you on last week's stream, I would have been like, this is going to be triggering. Get the fuck out of here. But tonight is actually perfect. Tonight is a good night to just like, it's very straightforward. It's you're not going to be scared. Like this is going to be relaxing for your mind. It's not going to be like society's bad, people are dying, fascism is alive, because that's happening. So, and you should know about it, but that's not what we're going to do in this moment right now, if that makes sense. Like, putting this together was joyful. Like, I was having a lot of fun putting this together. Like, Stop having a loud car outside my house when I'm streaming. That's so rude. Ugh. If I didn't wash my hair, it would look like I poured olive oil on it. So I will say, like, I was blessed by the hair gods, so I'm not going to speak on it too much because I think most of it's genetic. But before I started being an I don't wash my hair person, I used to wash it, like, pretty much every day, and that would happen. So you just have to fight through it. And when I say I don't wash it, I wash it, like, every 7... So on, like, a normal vibe, I wash it once a week or, like, once every 5 days. Right now, because I'm actively trying to not wash it, I'm washing it, like, every probably, like, 7 or 8 or 9 days is what's happening. Who's vroom-vrooming out there? No, literally. I was just in the middle of watching your stream about home buying re-uploaded on YouTube without realizing today was a Tuesday. Welcome, Haley's Rainbow Library. Oh my god, I saw your YouTube video. I posted it on Instagram. You replied, hey. I love when people mention the stream. Like, it literally just fuels me. If someone mentions the stream, I'm like, and thank you. Because I'm sorry, it's incredible. Like, this is my space. This is my moment. This is one of my favorite things that I do, like I say. So, and I feel like people, like, it's like a gold mine out there, just ready for people to find it. Like, it's just such a fucking vibe in here. And I feel like it just makes me so happy. So when I see someone be like, hey guys, this is a fucking vibe, I'm like, thank you. Thank you for saying that. It makes me feel like Ken in that movie. Also, I really like these glasses on here. I wore these glasses today and fucking hated them all day because I didn't have fake eyelashes on. And I was like, I hate how this looks right now. But it looks so good now that I have eyelashes on. This is my home. Okay, let's fucking get into it. Kay Thompson and Eloise. So on the right, this is also very, like, female-centered. There's some men in this story, but literally didn't even Google them. Sorry. This is Kay Thompson and Hilary Knight. Kay Thompson is the author. Hilary Knight is the, like, artist that draws the books. So this is not about Hilary Knight. Sorry. Like, I probably should have, like, I did not see anything negative about him at all. Like, and I didn't look further. So, what is this? Actually, let me do a poll really quick. And, okay, focus. Everyone focus really quick. Right now, focus. Have you read/seen Eloise? Yes. No. Okay, I just want to see if you guys are familiar with this. No, not the women's pro hockey player. This is a man in the 50s, unfortunately. So, like, he probably did do horrible things. I just don't know about them. But yeah, I just kind of want to see those of you that are coming into this raw versus, okay, lots of you have seen it. Okay, cool. Either way, it was going to be a vibe. You guys know that's how I set it. Oh, wait, very 50-50. I am glad that some of you have never heard of this or seen it because I think it's, like, so cute and so fun and, like, very slept on. That was, like, very, how the fuck? I, like, forgot how to go live on TikTok because I always get banned, so. Hee. Okay. Boom. I'm doing it on my phone, even though I'll probably still get banned. So, Eloise is a series of children's books, except they're not children's books. Kay Thompson literally said she did not write these books for children, and she doesn't like children, which is, like, so valid. Okay, majority of you have never seen or heard of Eloise. Buckle the fuck in. You are here for the experience of a lifetime. So anyway, series of children's books written in the 1950s by Kay Thompson and illustrated by Hilary Knight. Hilary Knight is a man. We will not be really discussing them much except in relevance to the Eloise story. And it consists of Eloise, 1955, and 4 sequels. Eloise is a young girl who lives in the room on the tippity-top floor of the Plaza Hotel in New York City with her nanny, her pug dog Weenie, and her turtle Skipperdy. So it's a very female-centered story. Okay, child hater, I feel you. Children are an oppressed class, and sometimes they're annoying. And they're a lot of work. I think they deserve rights, and I will always advocate for them. Don't know if I want one in my home. That's where I'm at. 2 things can be true. So, this is the movie. I'm obsessed with the movie. Honestly, might watch it after this. So this is from the book. I love the art style of the book, and it's, like, very pink. Like, you can tell, like, this book raised me. It's just quite apparent. Children deserve the world, but they do fucking suck sometimes. I have my own room. It has a coat rack, which is as large as me. This little girl lives at the Plaza Hotel. The Plaza Hotel is an extremely expensive, extremely old hotel in New York City. Super, super fancy. It's in Manhattan. Like, the Tipton in Sweet Life of Zack and Cody is like low-key kind of the Plaza, like in vibe, like in like the look and the outside shots. I think might actually be the Plaza, but it's just like an old super, yeah. Is this what Home Alone 2 was based on? I don't think so, but the Plaza just has like really good PR. Like they're a like part of American culture in a way. So some detailing I want to get into on the book is like how detailed the illustrations are. I think like they really build the character through the illustrations. Like the fact that Eloise is in what appears to be lipstick or paint on her pink walls. To have pink walls at the Plaza Hotel, oh, this girl has money. This is a family money. And she's like a small child. So then there's a calendar. And for those of you that are on TikTok, you have to come to Twitch to see everything. Sorry. There's a calendar that says like neat and tidy. So stars are neat and circles are untidy. And every single day is untidy. And like her room is a total disaster. That's the other thing that I love about her character is that she is so messy. Like her room is a mess. Sometimes she looks a mess. Like she is just a hot mess express and she doesn't care. And I think that it's so like integral to who she is as a character. So this is the first book. It's literally Eloise, a book for precocious grown-ups about a little girl who lives at the Plaza Hotel. That was in 1955. There's Eloise in Paris, which is 1957. Eloise at Christmas time, 1958. Eloise in Moscow, 1959. I don't know shit about that. Eloise Takes a Bath, which was published after Kay Thompson died, and she didn't want it published, so I don't know if I recognize that one. Junie B. Jones adjacent. Yes, another good example of this someone mentioned on the TikTok I made was Pippi Longstockings. Like, I love like a feral little girl. Like a feral little girl character who's just living her fucking life. I'm obsessed with them because I feel like they are such well-written female characters in a way that adult women don't usually get, and they're usually written by women. Fancy Nancy. And I feel like they're not, like, are there current day equivalents of this? I don't think there are. Are there? Like, we had a lot of these. Not a little girl, but Amelia Bedelia. I love Amelia Bedelia. Oh, we might do a stream about Amelia Bedelia. I kind of like, remember how I said I was going to do books? This is a better way to do books than what my other idea was. You know? So anyway, the first 3 sequels were withdrawn from publication by Kay Thompson in 1960s, but then they started printing them again after she died. Kay Thompson, a lot of this is about Kay Thompson, the author. She's a lot. I'm kind of obsessed with her too. Like, she's a little bit intense, but yeah. She was written in Moscow within a decade of the Cuban Missile Crisis. No, it's literally a commentary on the Cold War. We're going to get into it. I put it like towards the end, so like stick around. But literally, Kay Thompson was like, oh, there's a Cold War between 2 nuclear powers. Let's write a book about a little girl that goes there. That's what I'm going to do. And like, it's not patriotic, but it's not patriotic either. And I will say, I put this at the end, so it's like spoiler for my own shit, I guess. I did just buy it. I had never heard of it, so I did just buy it. It's going to be here later this week. I wish I had bought it before this, but that's just not how the cookie crumbled this time. Children's books can be so deep. No, literally they are. Okay, we're writing this down. Like, before I fucking forget, because I have the memory of a gnat. The Giving Tree. Good one. Amelia Bedelia. Not Bedevil. I fucking hate autocorrect. Remember when Apple autocorrect was good? Do you remember? Because I do. I remember. Okay. Let me make sure this link works before I go to it. Okay, so this is a PDF of Eloise at the Plaza. There are some like ads and annoying things happening around here, but you get what you pay for. And I didn't even make an account here, so it'll probably cut us off after a while. But this is, like, how do I, like, make you less? Okay. I think I want this to be a little smaller. Okay, it's not gonna do that. Cool. You get the picture. Magic Treehouse. Oh, I love Magic Treehouse. Those are my favorites. Okay, so this is clearly just a scan of someone's book. I am Eloise. I am 6. I am a city child. I live at the Plaza. Like, just the art and her body language and all of that. Unlock the next 20 pages after an ad. The internet is horrible. Like, the internet is absolutely unreadable. It's disgusting. So there's drawings of the Plaza. I don't think here's the text. This is a rough... Oh my God. Okay, I can't do this. You get the picture. I have other pictures of the book, but you kind of got like the art style and the writing style and all of that. They are relatively long. Like they're like 40, 50 pages. They're not like a children's book that's just a few pages. So this is Eloise in Paris. You absolutely, and you can see like they're children's books, but they're not. Like a child could not read this on their own. Like it's multiple sentences. You can go across the Seine, I think that's how you say that. By land or sea, we prefer the sea voyage. Nanny is always Lord Nelson. I'm usually me, Eloise. You absolutely have to have your camera ready at all times in case something comes in front of you and is in focus so you can take a picture of everything, even if you don't see it. For instance, if you want to take a picture of this statue or this friend or this balloon in a hurry or something like that, take that camera, press it against your forehead, and turn the knob at the bottom to the right till it hits the blue mark underneath the red, then press it against your forehead until they all say blue, and sling it over your shoulder and scratch your ankle perhaps on the inside and squint. You can have them developed right away if you want to take a case of these, but sometimes they turn out. So like it's not short. Like these are, I think, adult books. I'm actually going to be displaying them in this room is what I decided. I bought the whole set, if we're being honest. This is Eloise at Christmas time. This was one of my favorites when I was a kid. I don't love that like more recent drawing. I don't know. The vibe is off in that one. This is also the movie that I loved as a kid. So more of her on like painting on the walls, being her insane self. The dog is always there. The pug is key. I love a pug. I wish they could breathe. They are rather festive. Oh, zippity jingle and dash away tingle to shout out loud and clear, oh, come all ye faithful, it's me, Eloise, Nanny dear. So you can see, like, she's banging on the door to get back inside, and, like, the hotel staff is running after her. So this is, again, for those of you that have never heard of this. So she's not an orphan. They actually never address it. The vibe you kind of get, because she does, like, reference her parents, or her mom at least, I don't think she ever references a dad, is that, like, her mom is always away working. Like, her mom is just always gone and she's with the nanny. So, like, it is a class commentary. Like, it is a commentary about child neglect among the wealthy at the end of the day. So, again, Eloise in Moscow, I don't know, like, this is insane. To release a little girl's, like, Eloise book in the middle of the Cold War. You should see Moscow in the night. Nanny and I took a long walk across the street, and there were these little snow ladies shoveling snow, and they had on these boots, and their dresses were blowing. The brisk air made our eyelashes limp, and oh my lord, someone was following us. Apparently, a lot of it is about, like, she's just bippity-bopping around Moscow as she does, but she's, like, always with a translator or being followed or whatever. It's, like, literally about the Cold War, which is insane. I was glad that I had brought my white gloves. When we got to our room, this blizzard was hitting against our window, and these pigeons were absolutely flapping and hollering, and they were having our usual glass of weak tea, and I was having a little of this black caviar from the Caspian Sea on toast. Nanny was soothing us with a slight serendesky on the... well, I don't know how to say that. It's an instrument. When all of a sudden... Weenie, the dog, let out this shriek of barking and stood up on his hind legs like Tsar Nicholas I and started to sniff and go absolutely wild. And Nanny said, I think this is in Russian, niet, niet, niet. I guess Nanny's Russian now. 1959, Eloise in Moscow. 1963, Eloise in the Dealey Plaza, probably. Who is she publishing these for if not to educate children? That's the thing, is Kay Thompson doesn't know who she's publishing it for and doesn't care. That's what we're going to get into. That's absolutely incredible. Nanny always says things 3 times. She's a nanny. That's what they do. So, like, the fucking dog is barking because I guess someone's spying on them. They're in Moscow. Like, it's absolutely incredible. This is the more recent one that was done without Kay Thompson's consent. Eloise takes a bath. Kate Thompson is publishing for Kate Thompson. Because she's famous before this. She does not need this. This is just a product of her mind. Sometimes I'm just the loosest cannonball in the Caribbean. Mayday, mayday, mayday. You can see, like, it's written in kind of a children's book-esque tone, but it's like a lot of text for a children's book. I would be sat with these for like a while. I think that's why I like them, because I've always been a quick reader, humble brag. So those are like the original books. And then they started making movies in the early 2000s. I had both. I don't remember which one I watched first.
I'm Eloise. I'm 6. I live at the Plaza Hotel, and I am going to the debutante ball.
Eloise lives a charmed life. But can she charm her way into the Plaza's biggest party?
Has my invitation arrived yet?
I don't expect it will.
I'll have to come up with a plan.
Please, don't cause any trouble, Eloise.
Law? When do I ever do that?
Sophia Vasilieva and Julie Andrews star in the Disney Channel premiere of Eloise at the Plaza. Monday at 8/7 Central on Disney Channel.
So you can see it's like very true to the books. Like the movie and the books is like very, very, very similar. I think the movie, because it is a whole movie, they like add stuff in, but like it's very much the same. Yeah, I hated the movies, but it sounds like the book fucks. You hated the movies? I love the movies. So here's Eloise at Christmas time. Probably one of my favorite creations of all time. We'll be watching this next Christmas. Irritated I forgot about it till right now.
New on Disney DVD and video. Your favorite pint-sized princess is back.
Eloise.
In the new Eloise at Christmas time. With the legendary Julie Andrews as nanny.
Très extraordinaire.
Christmas in New York City is a truly magical time of year.
Is there anything more wonderful than Christmas in New York?
And Eloise is spreading her own brand of holiday cheer
It's Christmas Eve!
and mischief.
Has anyone seen my pet now?
It's a fun,
I think it's
Running wild through this hotel.
heartwarming Christmas adventure.
Like,
It's not the present.
this little neglected girl lives in a suite at the Plaza where they painted the walls pink. That is so telling about the life she's living.
It's that come wrapped in ribbons and bows that count, as much as the ones that come from here.
Own and give Eloise at Christmas time this holiday season. Only on Disney DVD and video November 16th.
I absolutely love Christmas.
I love that actress too. She's such a little sweetie and she's like an adult woman now. So is Eloise based on a person? Who is Eloise? The character was developed by Kate Thompson as her childhood imaginary friend and her alter ego. And the rumor is that Eloise is modeled after Liza Minnelli, who is Kate Thompson's goddaughter. So the character is very much Kate Thompson's alter ego, Kate Thompson's mind. Like, that's what I'm saying. Kate Thompson's publishing for Kate Thompson. Kate Thompson is not publishing for anybody else. But the drawings are rumored to be based on Liza Minnelli. So let's go backwards. Who is Kate Thompson? How did this book come to be? Who is this? Kate Thompson, born Catherine Louise Fink, was born in 1909. She was an American author, singer, vocal arranger, vocal coach, composer, musician, dancer, actress, and choreographer. She was the OG famous girl. Like, she was the OG Hollywood girl. OG. So she was born in St. Louis, Missouri in 1909, the second of 4 children. Her parents had been married a couple years before. She has a whole bunch of siblings, yada, yada, yada. You get the vibes. That's like not weird for the time. Like, she had a very normal life for the time. Like, she was born into an immigrant family with an American-born wife. So her dad's from Austria, a pawnbroker and a jeweler. They had 4 kids. Very normal for the time. Like, normal girl. St. Louis mentioned. Yeah, period. St. Louis. So she's the OG it girl, famous as fuck. She began her career in the 1930s as a singer and choral director for the radio. And then she was a regular singer on the Bing Crosby Woodbury show. So like any old-timey Hollywood music or whatever, famous Broadway, etc., she was there. Like, she was in the room where it happened. She was on the Ford Dealers show. She married a trombonist from the Lucky Strike Hits Parade. She was on this orchestra, Chesterfield Times, Manhattan Merry-Go-Round. She was on Tune Up Time, where 16-year-old Judy Garland was a guest. This is where she met and worked with Judy Garland. She became close friends with Judy Garland. when Judy Garland had Liza Minnelli. Kay Thompson is Liza Minnelli's godmother. Is it coming together? Is it coming together who this is? St. Louis meetup when, for real. There's a lot of y'all here. That's impressive. So here is some pictures. Should I leave since I'm not from St. Louis? This is a safe place for St. Louis and not St. Louis people. We respect the power of St. Louis around here, even if we are not from St. Louis. And again, for those of you on TikTok, you have to come to Twitch to see the pictures and engage with the chat. I'm sorry. Like, it's just, I just keep getting banned. I'm so sorry. Bring us the toasted ravs and no one gets hurt. What? I feel like the St. Louis crew should get a tour meetup. Have I done a show in St. Louis? I don't think so. Have I? I don't know. So here's some pictures of her. Absolutely stunning, like, old Hollywood, blonde, white. There's her with Audrey Hepburn. You get the vibes. You get the vibes that we're serving here. Then she signed an exclusive contract with MGM to become the studio's top vocal arranger, vocal coach, and choral director. So she literally, yeah, I did Kansas City because I've been to St. Louis because there was a time that we didn't do a show there, but I flew out of there because the airport made sense. So that's why I'm like, I know I've been there, but I didn't actually perform there. So anyway, where was I? Okay, so she is a jack of all trades. She can sing, she can dance, she can act. What can't she do? She's doing vocal coaching for MGM. She was a vocal coach to Judy Garland, Lena Horne, Frank Sinatra, like so many big names. She was also a vocal arranger for the Ziegfeld Follies, the Harvey Girls, Till the Clouds Roll By, Good News, and The Pirate. She only played one major role in the musical Funny Face for Paramount Pictures, but like, she is insanely famous. Insanely famous. She was in the highest paid nightclub act in the entire world. That was in Vegas with the Williams men. It was Kay Thompson and the Williams brothers. And she wrote the songs and helped with the choreography. She did stuff with like literally everyone. To have that much talent. No, literally like raw talent. And it seems like booked and busy. I don't know what kind of drugs she was on, if any, but like I feel like you'd have to be taking something to be working at this level. Like, not trying to accuse, just saying if I was in that situation. And also saying it's known about the industry at that time that they were drugging the stars, sometimes consensually, sometimes non-consensually. So I'm just saying I think that could be a factor here. So, yap. We're talking so much about her. Let's just watch this diva. This is her in Funny Face with Audrey Hepburn.
What am I going to tell them? Just listen and eat after me.
Remember when movies had color? My water just tastes bad. Remember when you could see movies? Yeah. Incredible. These divas. I feel like Kay Thompson, after being asked to teach an additional dance class for the rest of the year, the avian influenza, you're the modern day Kay Thompson. You're the Kay Thompson of 2026, if you think about it. Remember when they made original movies? Yeah. Interesting. The only movie that needed a sequel? Shrek. No other franchise is doing it like Shrek. I don't want anyone else putting out 2s and 3s other than Shrek. The choreography, the creativity. Like, they're wearing tablecloths. They're on a stage and they're doing the damn thing. One of my not so fun facts is that many movies look so flat now because they film in front of a green screen so they could do lighting that could work for any scene, which looks so bad. They'll never stop talking about it. This is going to sound dumb, but I forgot movie theaters exist. That's so real of you. This is why I want to see the new Wuthering Heights movie, because it's filmed on VistaVision and it looks beautiful. Ooh. Okay, so that's this diva. That's the author of the book. So let's get into her personal life. She was married twice. First to Jack Jenny, who she met through work stuff, who was a trombonist and band leader. They got married in 1937. They got divorced in 1939. So quick in and out. Then she married William Spire, who was a radio producer, married in 1942, divorced in 1947. I get it. It was World War II. You were feeling unstable. You married this guy. And then when the war was over, it was kind of like, what is he still doing here? You know what I'm saying? After her second marriage failed, I wouldn't call it a failure. We weren't in it. You know what I mean? Thought you said Bad Bunny for a second. Yeah, she was married to Bad Bunny. So anyway, after her second divorce, she began a secret affair with Andy Williams. Why was it a secret? He was half her age, but like, who cares? Whatever. At this point, it's 1947, so she's in her late 30s. So what, was he like 20? So was he a teenager? Not cool if he was a teenager. I take that back, actually. So anyway, she had an affair with this guy for a long-ass time, for 14 years. Andy Williams? Who is Andy Williams? You see how I didn't Google a single man in this? Like, they could be anyone. Andy Williams. He was born in 1927. How do I do math? Whatever. No, I need to do this math. It's going to bother me. But I'm using my phone to be live on TikTok, so let's see how this goes. Okay. So, what year did they start having the affair? 1947. Oh, so he was 20. It's chill. He was 20. He was 20. Like, he was 20, so it's literally fine. Who cares? So anyway, she was having an affair with this guy for like 14 years. Eloise happened during that time. So she was not married when she was doing Eloise. And then in 1961, Andy Williams married this other person, Claudine Longette. I don't know who that is. So he marries this other guy. So Kay Thompson was like, fuck you, I'm moving to Rome. And that's real as fuck. Because like what? You've had so much career success. Like at this point, you're so violently successful. Like literally could not have more success. And you created an insanely successful children's book that's for adults on top of it. Yeah, fuck it. Move to Rome. And like, who cares? At the end of the day, she can move to Rome. And I support her in that. You get what I'm saying? He sings Christmas songs. It's like it's the holiday season. I don't really know any old-timey stuff. I feel like a lot of women we cover have a series of quick divorces. That's encouraging because I imagine divorce feels devastating to go through, but these ladies are slaying. So the thing is, it seems like these women never centered marriage in their life, which would make divorce less painful, I imagine. I'm not saying it makes it not painful. I'm sure it still sucks. But like, if your whole identity is being a wife, that's gonna fuck you up to get divorced. But if that's like an extracurricular for you, it's like, didn't work out. It happens, you know what I mean? If my husband ever leaves me, I'm also moving to Rome. I just decided. I personally might prefer an island to Rome. Rome is beautiful, but I might go coast. Maybe south of Spain, south of France, maybe. Seems like the vibes would be there. Mr. Redacted acting like moving to Rome is a crime. No, it's just like, yeah, divorce equals Lizzie McGuire fantasy. So that was what her personal life was happening. And let's talk about Eloise in context of her personal life. So Thompson lived at the Plaza Hotel. Again, Eloise is her alter ego. So she is based on her imaginary friend and alter ego, and her goddaughter is often speculated as the model, like we said. So the concept of everyone thinking you created this character out of thin air, they were like, oh, she created Eloise. That's one thing I saw a lot of people saying is like the creator of Eloise, and like Eloise is a coping mechanism. Eloise is fully a coping mechanism. You will start to see that as we go through the rest of this evening. So we're going to read two articles that are kind of similar, but they're kind of written from two different lenses and have different details. So I just felt like it was best to just read them both. So the birth of Eloise, how did this come to be? Blazingly talented, Thompson did about everything but write. She sang, she danced, like we said, at least until her friends begged her to capture her alter ego Eloise on paper. So she would act like Eloise and say, I'm Eloise, and her friends were like, that's a hilarious bit, like you should make that a book. But it was not a bit. Like, she means it when she's doing it. So legend has it that Thompson invented Eloise when she was late for a rehearsal. She drove across a golf course, screeched into the parking lot, tore inside, and someone said, "Who do you think you are?" to show up late. And in a high-pitched voice, she goes, "I am Eloise, and I'm 6." For sure. So that's like the story of how Eloise came to be, but that's not even true. That story is true. She did do that, but Eloise had been around since Kay Thompson was a teenager. Further proving my theory, this is a trauma response to something that happened when she was 6, I think. So Kay Thompson from Funny Face to Eloise writes that she had an imaginary friend named Eloise as a child, and by the time she was a counselor at Minnie Wonka's girls' summer camp, Finky, as she was known by her peers, was warning the other girls, "You better do what I say or you'll have to answer to me, Eloise." So, yeah, that's a lot. In adulthood, Eloise could be counted on to emerge whenever Kay Thompson needed forgiveness or permission. So Irvin quotes Edith Head's description of Thompson making demands at Paramount Studios. In the squeaky voice of a little girl shot with arsenic, he also quotes Tiffany's director of design, "Kay had the mind of a grasshopper. Whenever she got exacerbated with me, she'd go into an Eloise voice and say, 'Well, goodbye, I'm going to play in traffic.'" To be at work and to your boss, be like, stressed, and be like, "Well, I'm going to play in traffic." Like, because sometimes you do feel sick. There's this poem that I really like, and I hate poetry. Like, y'all know, like, I know you guys like poetry. I respect poetry. I want poetry to have a place in society. I don't want to read it. But there's a poem that I really like that I read in elementary school that I remember so clearly. I don't remember who it was by or the title of it, but I remember what it was about. That was basically saying, like, so, like, I'm 28. I'm not just 28. I'm like an onion of layers, and I'm like every age at one time. So, like, sometimes when I'm being a massive bitch, like, I'm being 14. Like, that's a 14-year-old. That's not me as a 28-year-old. That's 14. And then, like, sometimes when I get, like, really upset about something, or, like, sometimes I just get overwhelmed and, like, break down crying, that's 4. I'm 4 in that moment. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like Eloise is to Kay Thompson. I feel like for some reason, whenever she's, like, overwhelmed or stressed, it's very comforting to her to, like, regress into this other identity that's, like, a small child. And, like, that's real as fuck. Like, that is so real as fuck. It's giving, if the campus bus hits me, I get free tuition. It's like in Moby Dick, instead of saying he's going to kill himself, he says he's going to go outside and start knocking people's hats off. Jesus Christ. It's like when I'm at work, I'm not actually a boring office drone. I'm just playing the role and seeing how long I can keep up the act. Has a professional commented on this? I'd want to hear their take. Not really. Not really. I looked it up, not much of what I'm seeing. That's why I was so excited to talk about this, because I was like, this is fascinating, and we're going to just get into it together. So not everyone was amused by the fiction, but some people thought it was really funny, so they were like, you should write this. And a fashion editor at Harper's Bazaar introduced Kay Thompson to Hilary Knight, the illustrator. After watching Thompson's nightclub act at the Plaza, this is, again, why she was living there. She did a nightclub act there, and then they just let her stay there because she was a vibe, I guess. He drew her a Christmas card that showed Eloise riding on Santa's sleigh, gliding among the stars, and this is when Kay Thompson was like, yes, you nailed it. So that's when they started the collaboration and made the books. Instant hits. There were toys, there were dolls, there were whatever. Some of this happened in years later. Now there's a room at the Plaza dedicated to it. Often Knight, this is Hilary Knight, the illustrator, Knight watched Thompson veer back and forth between Kay and Eloise. When Francis Ford Coppola called, hoping to include Eloise in his New York stories, she would answer either as Eloise or as Kay Thompson, Knight later said on National Public Radio. The conversation lasted hours, and when Thompson finally made it clear that she was saying no, Coppola replied warily, "All right, good night to the both of you." So, like, what I do appreciate about her is she doesn't give a fuck. Like, you can tell she's not in this to make money. She just does this, and it landed. And she, like, I feel like she would be doing this regardless of what people's reaction would be to it. You know what I'm saying? So, the similarities were, after all, striking. Not so much in appearance. Eloise had dirty blonde flyaway hair, and she lacked the skinniness of her creator, who reportedly satiated mainly on Fig Newtons and Coca-Cola because she found the red can chic. So, Kay Thompson is on Fig Newtons, Coca-Cola, switching back and forth between her two personalities, not giving a fuck about money, not giving a fuck about deals, living at the Plaza for free, whatever, divorced, having an affair. That's when all this is going on. She's having an affair with a younger dude, wrote a best-selling book off of her alter ego. I'm sure now is getting way more into it and playing it up, and is like, hell yeah, I'll be Eloise. It gets me out of everything. I mean, Judy Garland and Aubrey and all of them went through hell, so I'm not surprised. Exactly. Like, that's why I'm kind of living for her, just, like, going for it. And you can tell, like, at least the way that I see it is Eloise is a projection of freedom that Kay Thompson does not feel. Kay Thompson probably did not feel free in a lot of ways, and Eloise's freedom is, I think, like, probably a really good outlet for her. How affair if divorced, though? Because it was in secret because he was, like, half her age or whatever. But, like, who cares? So her boyfriend. You're right. I shouldn't say affair because it's demonizing to women. So anyway, Thompson was 5'5". Apparently she looked 5'7", and she referred to herself as a tall drink of water, and this was heightened by the effect of wearing pants. She was one of the first women to wear pants, which was shocking at the time. She designed them herself, and Kay Thompson's fancy pants were sold at Saks Fifth Avenue. She was one of the first people to sell pants for women. Like, this diva, why are we not talking about her more? But alas, they would not have suited Eloise, who was not tall at all and often wore an untucked white puff-sleeved blouse and pleated black skirt that tended to slip beneath her little pot belly. I don't love that description of a child character, but go off, journalist, I guess, if we even want to call you that. So how are Eloise and Kay Thompson similar? They share a love of mischief, a rebellious spirit, a need for attention, excitement, and utter indifference to convention. They indulged in their own cravings. They kept their nerve and confidence up at all times. She is not yet pretty, Kay Thompson wrote of Eloise, but she is already a person. She is not yet pretty, but she is already a person. I'm going to give everyone a fucking minute. Let's just take that in. Everyone just take that in. She is not yet pretty, but she is already a person. Capital P. Groundbreaking. This says so much about society. And I don't see this as a bad thing. Like, she's saying, like, Kay Thompson lived in a world where all of her value was about how she looked, not how smart she was, not how creative she was, not how talented she was. She was probably ripped apart for her appearance fucking constantly, probably having crazy shit done to her, fucking 1950s beauty, and she has this character that is a projection of the freedom that she desires, who is not pretty. Eloise is not pretty on purpose, but she is a person. Kay Thompson is beautiful. I do not think Kay Thompson felt like a person. I think that's why Kay Thompson slips into Eloise and is Eloise so that she can feel agency and she can feel like a person. Isn't this incredible? Like, I feel electric right now. Like, this is what I mean when I say Eloise is feminist theory. Like, and I know it's kind of sad to think about, like, women and how oppressed we've been, but I'm honestly thrilled right now. Because to me, this is a story of, like, resiliency and breaking the mold. Like, Kay Thompson didn't live in a world where she could be who she really was, and she was able to make a character that was a true representation of girlhood and women, and that pushed us forward. That pushed us forward. Like, poof, poof. This makes me want to do wind sprints. No, literally. I'm tearing up. I'm tearing up. When I read that, I was like, wow. Inspirational. I'm actually I'm on a new kick to make art for my house. I'm using that in the art. Kay Thompson. She is not yet pretty, but she is already a person. Incredible. Iconic. So I felt like that was an incredible place to take a little bit of a break from reading about the lore of Kay Thompson and watch some more clips of Eloise. I just felt like I wanted to lock in and look at Eloise with this perspective. That's why I showed you the trailers at the beginning, but this is going to be the majority of the clips, is so that now that you understand the context, we exist in the context. Now that you understand the context of who Eloise is, why Eloise was created, and how she is so different from a traditional character, now I want you to see the clips. And again, for me, as someone who's read all the books and seen read most of the books and seen all the movies very much ring true to the character in the books. Like, we've really only be able to be ourselves, our full dynamic selves, unburdened by kid and men for a few decades. OMG. I don't think that Kay Thompson had kids, though, so good for her, I guess.
Nanny,
Mm.
I'm hungry.
Imagine my surprise.
Room service always knows it's me.
Yes, Eloise.
Hello, this is me, Eloise. Would you kindly set up Irish bacon oatmeal, 1 roast beef bone, 1 raisin, and 7 spoons to the top floor, and some rather hot coffee, and charge it, please. Thank you very much.
Charge it.
What?
I am thinking about how absolute fun I'll have at tomorrow's debutante ball.
Oh.
So, like, this is her life. The staff of this hotel is her family. Again, Kay Thompson probably had a fucked up ass family situation. The parallels are ringing. Julie Andrews is incredible casting in this, by the way.
When it's time for our morning duties, Winnie and Skipperty and me skip as fast as we ever can.
Lightning from bottom to top is up to keep her in the shop.
Like, look at her room.
Even Mrs. Mop is up. Oh, what a lovely morning. Trafalgar Square, the Bob is up. In Piccadilly, the Nip is up. In Covent Garden, the Kip is up. Oh, what a lovely morning. We're up and we've got to be jolly clean from head to toe. We're in between. Sup, good morning, how have you been? Oh, what a lovely morning. The royal
Loki's dream job. Just live at the Plaza and take care of this little girl.
and even
The pug. The pug is what kills me. I love the pig. Or the pug.
Oh, what a lovely, oh, what a lovely, oh, what a lovely morning.
Always with the same fit. Box on the head, period.
And Kleenex makes a very good hat.
I'm obsessed with her. Having a dedicated line to the kitchen that rings a pink phone. Oh, she's a princess. She's a princess, but like she's neglected. She's literally a neglected child. So here's more. There's a lot.
Here's what I do. Put a rubber band on the end of my nose.
She was saying this is what she does when she is bored. Because again, like she is a child alone with no family and no friends in a hotel. And she says, like, this is what I do when I'm bored. The woman taking care of her is nanny. That's her nanny. That is a paid person. You occasionally hear references to a mother or a phone call referencing a mother. You never see a parent. Again, probably telling about Kay Thompson.
Here's what I do. Put a rubber band on the end of my nose. Stand on my toes for the longest amount of time. Get dizzy and fall down. Run down the halls and skitter 2 sticks along the walls, making a really loud and terrible racket.
One day your face will freeze like that.
Oh no, my face is an absolute popsicle.
You disgusting little girl.
Lobby, please, Max. Time for my morning rounds. Getting Max to notice me is rather a favorite hobby of mine. I'm thinking of dyeing my hair hot pink. If staring contests had prize money,
Like she just
Max
wants
would
attention.
be a
And this
very
staff
rich
is her
man.
family. That's why she's a brat to them. Because like all kids are brats to their parents.
Any messages, Miss Thompson?
Let me check.
Miss Thompson.
The owner of the Yankees called. He wants you to throw out the first pitch at tomorrow's game.
Tell him I'm sorry, but I have to repay the Sistine Chapel next week, and I can't risk an injury to my wrist.
in one of the movies, you see the mother at the end, but not her face. Yes, I think it's in the Christmas one. Her mom comes home and you just see them hug at the end. And again, like, we have all these movies and she was home once. And where's the dad?
Good morning, Mr. Salvoni.
Good morning, Eloise.
Has my invitation to the debutante ball arrived yet?
Is it the OG
and
movie?
I don't expect it will.
I expect the ball will be awfully fun.
Please, don't cause any trouble, Eloise.
So the plot of the original movie is that she's living at the Plaza. It's Eloise. There's a debutante ball for, like, teenage young women. And she really wants to go because she's like, I want to go to the ball. And everyone's like, not for you. And then she's just like, fucking shut up, trying to get into this ball. I liked The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, but I can see why Mr. Mosby was so sick of these boys. This behavior makes way more sense for a young girl with neither parent around. The summer I turned pretty arc.
When do I ever do that?
Complaints about Eloise? No.
So this is a social commentary because all her socialization came from adults at a luxury hotel. Think about that. One of the most expensive hotels in the country is where she was raised by paid, like, staff.
Hello? Oh, hello, Mr. Nye. My mother's lawyer.
So you see what I mean? There's, like, references to the mother. We presume the mother is some rich businesswoman.
You want to meet? How about tomorrow? Say 3. Oh, I couldn't possibly today. I'm rather busy. Doing what? Just everything.
Like, she thinks that's how you talk on the phone, because that's probably all she's heard from business people. And imagine being the lawyer for this family. Oh my god, you have to, like, call and coordinate a schedule with a 6-year-old? Ugh. So this is another big plot line for her. She likes disguises and pranks, if you will.
Pardon me, excuse me, ma'am. Little man coming through.
Nice mustache.
You'll blow my cover.
I'm obsessed with her. So in the first movie, she meets another kid who, like, is also a rich, neglected kid, and they're kind of vibing out for a while.
Eloise, where are we going?
Oh, Leon, we're going to have fun. Buckets and buckets of fun.
Her and the Home Alone kid would be iconic.
Come on.
Like, because of course she's in there. Oh my god, hi Heather Loves.
Are you looking for something? Clues about a guest on the 8th floor. Clues?
I do not have Discord. Maybe one day
Amazing way you
soon.
can tell about a person from their laundry. See this? A golf shirt. This man golfs, but he's not very good. How do you know? First of all, he's rather out of shape. And if you were good, he'd be thinner. And if you're good, you take vacations near golf courses. And if you're not very good, you come to the plaza and wear your golf shirt to lunch.
She just wants friends.
How about a deal? Stop it. You help me find my date to the ball, and I help you. What are you doing? If you're going to be my assistant spy, you'll need to get rid of that coat. Spies don't stand out. They blend.
But someone might take it.
If we're lucky.
She has the same humor as me. Yeah, she actually raised me. Did they make a cartoon? Maybe. How did they let this small child into the laundry staff areas? She came down the laundry chute. And keep in mind, like, she lives here. 6-year-old, like, she lives here and she's completely unsupervised. I'm very confident, as someone who's worked at a big hotel, these areas are not obvious at all. But if a small child wanted to get into them, they absolutely could. It's her house in the sense that she lives in a suite at the hotel. So, like, from her perspective, it's her house. So, Absent parents, despite insane wealth. Like, the neglect story is really what radiates here. And Eloise isn't pretty or perfect. She's a very, very accurate representation of girlhood. She's wild, she's messy, she has fun, she cries, she loves, she hates herself, she feels ignored, she loves getting attention. She's just literally everything. There is this woman I really like who's like a female empowerment coach or whatever. And she has this bit, it's not funny, but it's like a thing she says about how like women have 88 keys of emotion. So like a piano has 88 keys. She says we have 88 keys of emotional range. Like we have so much emotion, and the entire world socializes us to just play middle C, to just tap our finger on middle C over and over again and feel nothing. And I feel like Eloise is a really good representation of dynamic female emotion. Like she is playing on all 88 keys. She is experiencing every single emotion. No, if anything, working at a hotel might have been subconsciously a choice because I wanted to be Eloise and I really enjoy being in the inside parts of the hotel. So this is making some things come together for me. So class consciousness. Eloise does not view these people as service workers. She views all adults the same, and they're her family, and they happen to be service workers. So you really see the Plaza through the eyes of a child. How like she thinks not that these people work for her, but like she treats them the way a kid treats a parent. Like the way she skips in line, like the people at the front desk, and just goes up to the lady and is like, there's any messages for me? Like that's how a child interacts with a parent. So to see her interacting with the hotel staff in that way, I think is really interesting, and like is a commentary on how like human the staff is as well. Like you see in different points in the movie and in the book, some of the staff dislike her, some of them like her. Like they have emotional range as well. And it makes you like kind of challenge your beliefs about like the dynamic at play here. And it's a very interesting dynamic that I feel like I haven't seen a ton of, like this essentially neglected rich child where staff is their parents, and you're really seeing it through the eyes of a child. And that child is not necessarily expressing anger about it. Or any, like the child is aware of it, but isn't aware that it's fucked up. Like she seems like a genuinely happy child. That's what gets me. They did make a 13 episode cartoon in 2006-07. I'm not going to do it. Like my hands want to do it and I'm fighting them. I'm not going to do it. So this is back to that same article that we were reading before. Readers soon learned that Eloise's mother was 30, had a charge at Bergdorf's, and knew Coco Chanel personally. In a rough draft, Thompson wrote, I overheard Maybelle, the afternoon maid, saying that mother was a nymphomaniac, but that did not make it to press. So again, like this was not a children's book. Readers did discover that Eloise's mother traveled with a lawyer who liked martinis. As far as Eloise, she liked grass. Later, more conscious editors replaced grass with dandelions. They literally, in the OG copies, apparently Eloise is like getting drunk and high. Eloise kept a bottle of gin in her bedroom. The author, Kay Thompson, preferred vitamin B12 injections that were, according to Irvin, mostly speed. A newspaper expose later outed the good doctor's prescribing habits. Eloise poured water down the mail chute, ordered a single raisin from room service for her turtle, and when a hotel door was open, she'd walk in. I pretend I'm an orphan, and sometimes I limp around and look sort of sad, and they give me a piece of melon or something. That is direct quote from the book. In Paris, she turned a bidet into Skibberty's own private swimming pool. Back in New York, she burst into the Plaza's rendezvous room, interrupted a couple canoodling, and it was somehow obvious that they were married to other people. Like, it was not a children's book. It's kind of been edited. She visits Moscow, and her worldliness turns political. They give you your key. Here's who else they give it to. Everybody. Like, Eloise's take on the Cold War. I admire Eloise enormously, said Groucho Marx, and I'm very happy that I'm not her father. Like, she's just a time. This is Kay Thompson with, like, the Eloise dolls, the Eloise at Christmas time, the outfits. Like, it was a massive, massive, massive success. Told you the movies ain't it. I like the OG drunk Eloise. Yes, the movies are similar to the modern book. I guess not the OG one. Now I'm going to have to spend, like, $1,000 on eBay to get the OG one. So, still the same article. If Eloise was a handful, just imagine her creator. There's a famous painting. In 1960, the portrait Hilary Knight, the illustrator, painted of Eloise had hung in the plaza for years and it disappeared. Princess Grace of Monaco was crushed. She'd brought the royal children to see it. Walter Cronkite announced it on the evening news. Eloise has been kidnapped. And when the painting failed to materialize, Hilary Knight painted a new one, and then they put that one in the plaza. And then 2 years later, Hilary Knight received an anonymous phone call telling him he could find the portrait in a trash can in uptown Manhattan. It had been torn from its frame and slashed across the knees. He winced and threw it in the back of a closet, but according to Tablet, in 1993, Thompson idly mentioned to a reporter that she found the painting in the trash. It was probably a coincidence that she had been furious at night because critics had praised the art in Eloise in Moscow and panned the text. So apparently what they're implying here, is that what she thought communism is? No, literally. I am really excited to read it. I will report back to you all. So anyway, what this article is kind of implying is that after Eloise in Moscow came out, people talked about the art, not the book, and Kay Thompson lost her shit and stole the painting and, like, destroyed it. Which, like, I'm not saying she was right to do, like, I'm not saying that that was the right or professional thing to do. Like, don't think this is me saying that that's what you should do. I'm just saying, like, I see where her head is at. Like, again, wrong. Do not do that. But, like, I can see where you get to a place mentally where you felt like that's what you needed to do. And that's a moment where you seek out connection with others and help. Yeah. So their collaboration did continue after this. This did not break them up as a duo, which tells me Hilary Knight is exactly where he wants to be. Okay. So Hilary Knight flew to Rome several times to work with her on the 5th Eloise book because at this point she had gone through that breakup and was like, I'm going to Rome. Fuck everybody. Despite being hugely successful as an author, which again, she never needed this. She never needed the books. She never needed the books. Yeah, Hilary's Knight is a man. Their picture was at the beginning. She never needed the books. So there's like this business empire around a book that she just wrote based on like a coping mechanism little bit that she does. And now everyone's like, you got to keep writing the books. And she's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about any of this. I felt like she needed it though. No, like I see Eloise as like an artistic expression of emotion. I see Eloise as a coping mechanism and artistic expression. And it happened to turn into a extremely successful business. But I don't think it was ever that for her. Like, I think for Kay Thompson, it was just, like, something she did. Like, she was like, I just did that to express myself. So anyway, in July 1964, Ursula Nordstrom, who was in charge of the children's books at Harper & Row, the publisher, bought the front cover of Publishers Weeklies to announce Eloise takes a bath. But Thompson saw Hilary Knight's final sketches and she said she didn't like them and then refused to communicate after that. So like that's why the book was released after she died, because she was like, I don't like the sketches. I don't want to do the book anymore. And this is again after that breakup and after Eloise in Moscow was like, everyone only cared about the art. They didn't care about the writing. She was just like fucking over it, which I can completely see. Like, you've had a violently successful career. Like, she doesn't need this. So in November, Nordstrom, the publisher lady, wrote to Thompson, I wonder if I'm dead and I don't realize it. And that's why you can't get in touch with me. So she like literally just doesn't care and isn't responding. She ghosted them, essentially. Trying to become a successful author is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Exactly. And she was already rich. She was already super successful. So whatever. But also, I don't want to be adored for what I merely represent to you. She did not care about entertaining these people. No, for real. So after she pulled the plug on the Bath book, she took back all the licensing rights for Eloise and the characters and all publishing rights for the last 3 books. The original Eloise that she felt was the best would remain in print. So she was like, fuck all of you. I don't care about any of this. OG Eloise, that can still go out. Nothing else is going out. She stayed in Rome. Like, literally won the I don't give a fuck war, stayed in Rome renting a palazzo at the foot of the Spanish Steps, literally one of the most beautiful places on earth, riding a Vespa and feeding her pug lime green chuckles. When he died of diabetes, she was devastated and came home. Which is, again, real as fuck. Like, real as fuck. She was like, I don't care about this. You guys are pissing me off. I'm stressed out. I'm going to Rome with my dog. And then the dog died, and she was like, and I'm back. And I'm back. Why does TikTok always say I'm inactive? I'm not inactive. This is the most active thing anyone's ever done. So Hilary Knight remained as gracious as humanly possible, would send flowers, would send drawings on her birthday, never got a response. Never ever got a response. And Hilary Knight ignored the fact that Kay Thompson never gave him substantial royalties. So, like, Hilary Knight, I don't know about Hilary Knight, but he did not make much money off this and treated Kay Thompson well till the end. His exacerbation didn't surface until years later when he drew a parody of his own Eloise cover for Vanity Fair. In this version, Thompson was on the cover, having kicked the chair from beneath the little girl. She's scrawling, I am Eloise, in lipstick on the vanity mirror. I tried to find a picture of this and I couldn't find it. If anyone can find it, feel free to put it on the Collaborate board. I looked hard, but not that hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't give it a full effort because I was on a time crunch, but I did look for a little while and couldn't find this magazine cover that he drew, apparently, implying that Kay Thompson, like, ruined Eloise. But the way that I see it is, like, Kay Thompson was needed for the biggest accomplishment of your career, and this was definitively not the biggest accomplishment of her career, so that's telling to me. Just gonna say that. So, I think Kay Thompson's real as fuck for this. Like I said, to run off to Rome after your relationship flopped and your coworker pissed you off and then come back because your dog died, real as fuck. No revenge because I'm living at the foot of the Spanish Steps feeding my pug. For real. So in 1950, society photographer Cecilia Benton tried hard to analyze Kay Thompson's charisma. This is pre-Rome. The facts about her are that she sings, prances in cabaret between Los Angeles and Istanbul, that she is skeletal, hatchet-faced, blonde, and American, that she wears tight, tapering slacks and moves like a mountain goat. The proper language in which to review her is not English, but Esperanto or possibly Morse code. She was, like Eloise, her own creation, and she became noted critic Emily Nussbaum a kind of skeleton key to mid-century Broadway and Hollywood. So again, she was in everything. Oh, Lemur Banana, you're fucking good. Thank you. Put it at the end. There's a Collaborate board. Thank you. Love you. Thank you for all you do. Lemur Banana's an OG. Then it all changed. In 1973, Kay Thompson was evicted from the Plaza. So apparently, because she had done that show there and because of the Eloise books, the Plaza let her live there for free because they were like, you give us really good PR and you're super famous, so we'll just let you live here for free. And it's kind of like marketing for the hotel to be like, oh, Kay Thompson lives here. Kay Thompson lives here. She's fine. Don't worry. She's fine. She just doesn't live there anymore. Hilary Knight publicly identified as gay. Oh my God, he did? I didn't know that. Maybe I should have Googled him. Like I said, maybe we'll do a stream about Hilary Knight. Let me Google that now. Oh, to be publicly gay in that time. Hilary Knight. Illustrator. The hockey player was coming up. Oh my God, he's still alive? He's 99. His most recent birthday. He's illustrated 50 books throughout his career. Oh, he also has a lot of books that he wrote. That's not that shocking. I guess that makes sense. Like, to be the illustrator for, like, a strong female character in the 40s. Yeah. This says mixed reviews on gay. This says, what does this say? This article refers to it as homosexuality. This is HilaryKnight.com. I came out of my mother as gay as anyone could possibly be, and he says he has a nuanced view of homosexuality. He takes a rather laissez-faire. It was simply not discussed. Interesting. He really captured girlhood in a way a straight man could never. Yeah, for real. There was not a phrase gay. Today you say gay. There's too much of it. It's part of life. Just sit back and enjoy it. Don't act like it's something that needs to be discussed. Real as fuck. Real as fuck. That's cool. So no wonder he treated her so nice. That makes sense. And he says that Eloise is not based on Liza, that it was just a fresh drawing. Cool. Thank you for bringing that up. That was a fun little tangent. And this is on the Hilary Knight's website. And like Lena Dunham is with Hilary Knight. That's the thing that's happening, I guess. I didn't know that was happening. Okay, where was I? So, again, she's evicted from the Plaza, but she's still Kay Thompson. So she's really quite fine, in my opinion. So, sidebar, did Donald Trump evict her? No, but he did evict another lady with a similar housing situation named Fannie Lowenstein. So she lived at the Plaza, and Donald Trump apparently was like going to give her this big ass apartment. She is known as the Eloise from Hell. So Miss Fannie Lowenstein lived in this hotel for 35 years, and she paid $500 a month for a 3-room suite and had a reputation of her own. She and her Wall Street bigwig husband moved in just after World War II, managing to snag a rent-controlled studio, though they could afford a market-rate rent. Her husband died shortly after, leaving her in this suite that's rent-controlled that would normally cost over $1,000 a night. She was paying $500 a month for this 3-room suite. Didn't they do an American Horror Story about Fannie with Gaga? I don't know. I don't watch American Horror Story. I read in a 2015, Knight noted he was out for his whole life, saying, "No one really had any doubts about me," while also mentioning that for a long time being gay was not a topic of discussion. Yeah, interesting. So, where was I? So this lady's living in this hotel, like, super cheap because her husband died, like right after World War II. And the hotel employees remember her as a scourge who exploited every wrinkle in rent control law with the subtlety and skill of a top-tier real estate attorney. What do you mean? She bought a rent-controlled apartment and then lived there the whole time. Like, she's not getting away with anything. She's not trying to pass it to people illegally. Like, they sold, that was stupid of them. Why'd they do that? Or it was required of them. Like, I don't know. I'm on her side. A general counsel for the Plaza, from 1977 to 2004, attorney Gary Lyman remembers she complained about everything. Everyone was terrified of her. This little woman, who was then about 80, of small stature, we referred to her as the Eloise from Hell. She certainly made herself at home, because she lived there longer than anyone else, mind you. Scourge. Thank you. In the shabby old world elegance of the late 20th century grande dame of a hotel, frequently joining a tattered collection of neighborhood eccentrics at the Palm Court, wearing the same old purple dress. She didn't seem to have much else in the way of clothing other than a long coat, a small pocketbook, even in the summer, with an accent that was sort of British, and she walked around as if she owned the Plaza. No, literally, it is her home, and I think she has no money. Think about it. She was a wife, her husband died young, and she was in a rent-controlled apartment. Like, this is a woman who's, like, fighting to stay alive. She's wearing the same outfit all the time. Think about who this is. She was probably raised with money, married money, and then he died, and she's just been alone trying to figure it out. So, like, yeah, fuck you, the Plaza. She can stay. I'm on her side. This is a pro-landlord article that we're reading. And then, in 1987... infamous landlord Donald Trump moved to buy the Plaza, and when he was told the biggest issue is Fannie Lowenstein, he reportedly offered her an apartment in the hotel that was nearly 10 times the size of her small suite, with a view of Central Park and new furniture and new dishes, and at her insistence, a Steinway grand piano. By Mr. Lyman's account, the two had one-on-one meetings shortly after he completed purchase of the building, and she agreed to this deal. Then soon after, she had to leave the hotel because of health issues and go into Park Lane, and then she died in 1992 at the age of 85. So I think they might have poisoned her. Remember at the beginning when I said this wasn't going to be sad? Sorry about that. I forgot about this. So they didn't like how she looked or that she was single and she turned down someone powerful. Yeah. So, like, I get she was 85, but, like, I would like to see the autopsy is what I'm saying. So she's on the list for a stream as well because I found her story to be interesting and women as well. She was a kid. Just a fucking kid. So, yeah, she passed away, and then Donald Trump declared bankruptcy and had to sell the hotel. Struck down in her prime. Struck down when we needed her most to fight one of the worst landlords in American history, who went on to become an American fascist president. I'm living in honor of her legacy, I just decided. I think they poisoned her. The silence that followed was deafening. I'm sorry, it's what I think. She should have been in the club. She should have. So, because when you Google it, it's like, Donald Trump kicked out Kay Thompson, but that's an AI overview, and it's wrong. That's the actual story. Kay Thompson got evicted way before. I think Kay Thompson got evicted because she refused to work with anyone, and the Plaza was like, we kind of had an understanding that you lived here for free in exchange for good PR about your books, and you're refusing to do good PR about your books. And Kay Thompson was like, well, I have a ton of money, so bye. It appears what happened there. So Kay Thompson was evicted from the Plaza, like we said. And then she threw herself into music, film, and theater. She staged a fashion show at the Palace of Versailles. Kay Thompson's fucking fine. Let me tell you that much. Kay Thompson is fine. Her eccentricities multiplied. Apparently she grew squirrely, and friends called her a control freak. So Thompson also feuded with some people, and Audrey Hepburn very graciously said, yes, 'tis a bit of a strain, because apparently she was upset because Audrey Hepburn got to wear Givenchy and she did not. Thompson was also growing steadily more erratic, not to take anything from her talent, but she was crazy. I'm screaming about Fannie Lowenstein conspiracies at the club this weekend. It's what she would have wanted. You mean Donald Trump did something more awful and horrible than we thought? Say it ain't so. So, Thompson never lost her spirit. After Donald Trump bought the Plaza, he wanted to use Eloise to promote the hotel, and Kay Thompson said no. Period. Kay Thompson was like, I don't care. I don't care. And meanwhile, she's like pretty old at this point. So she was in her 80s at this point, I believe. Or late 70s. And Donald Trump was like, we want Eloise at the Plaza. We know you got kicked out a while ago, but I'm the new owner, and we want Eloise at the Plaza again. You think of the Plaza, you think Eloise would be great. It would be great for both of us. And she was like, I don't give a fuck about this book anymore. I don't care. So yeah, by the 90s, she'd grown very reclusive, and she was living with Liza Minnelli. So that's what I mean, like, Kay Thompson has a relatively happy ending. Like, she, as an old woman, her career was still going. Your impression triggers me so bad. I'm so sorry, but I'm not going to stop doing it. It's too good. So anyway, she had an insanely successful career. This book was super successful. Even after she got evicted, she like still had a super happy life and was probably living in cool places. And then when she was in her 80s, she moved in with her goddaughter, Liza Minnelli, and she wasn't really going out very much. And Liza Minnelli cared for her until she died when she was 88 years old. No one knew that she was 88 when she died because she had been lying about her age for years. And I think that is the American dream. And in 2003, her star was added to the St. Louis Walk of Fame. And yes, meet up at Kay Thompson's star on the St. Louis Walk of Fame. They thought she was 45, as is your right as a woman. To be a twice divorced woman who only cared about her dog and doing what she thought was fun, who had an alter ego that got her out of all responsibility, to be cared for by your goddaughter and die a peaceful death in your late 80s. And lie about your age the entire time. That's my American dream, personally. So she bequeathed her estate, including all licensing rights, to her sister, and this opened up a way to publish her books. They made audiobooks. There's Eloise lip gloss. There's Eloise purses. I very much grew up in the commercialification of Eloise. I did not know that that was only possible because Kay Thompson died the year I was born. So, oh my God, am I her? No, I was born first. Sorry, I was born at the beginning of 1998, and she died after I was born. Anyway, so there was an animated children's TV, like we mentioned. Yeah, lots of Eloise stuff, and Eloise Takes a Bath was rescued. And more posthumous books followed. Some were illustrated by Hilary Knight, and Not to Be Poisoned by Trump, literally the dream. No, I was so relieved to find out that she had nothing to do with Donald Trump. I was like, she had suffered enough. Not that that other lady deserved it, which we will get into another week, but I just felt like, yeah, we don't know how reincarnation works. You could be her. Such a good point. Like, I felt like Eloise was so pure. I just didn't want Donald Trump involved. And I'm so glad that he wasn't. And the way he almost was, and Kay Thompson was like, your vibe is off. Your vibe is off and I don't like it. Maybe she took the wheel a few months after you were born. Yeah, so I am Kay Thompson reincarnated, actually. Thanks. Anyway, so there's tons more books. Eloise goes skating, visits the zoo, blah, blah, blah. But without the duo of Kay Thompson and Hilary Knight together, the books are a bit ordinary. They just don't hit. The originals retain their power. I just bought all the originals. They will be displayed somewhere in here. I will probably put them up here with the skeleton. I think my goal in 2026 is to be more frustrating to others. I've been too cooperative lately. And that's what Eloise would have wanted. So a key word for the search is guaranteed to pull up articles about Eloise, a scout of reporters, blah, blah, blah. Lena Dunham has an Eloise tattoo on her lower back and released a documentary about Hilary Knight. You can find sadness in the books if you look for it. Everyone knew where we were going, but no one cried, Eloise says, leaving for Paris. So if no one remembers me and no presents I can find, I'll know I don't deserve them. It doesn't matter. I don't mind, she announces at Christmas time. So again, like, she's not a sad child, but she understands her life is sad in a way. Like, she speaks about it very, very matter-of-factly of how neglected and ignored she is, but she still finds so much happiness in her day-to-day and is such a generally excited and happy person. Her mother is rarely around. Nanny is the closest thing to a loving and companionable adult presence. When she watches the fights, Eloise orders her Pilsners. Yeah, so like one thing about Nanny is she like watches boxing late at night. And sometimes Johnny Walker Black straight up and charge it, please. She always just charge it to the room. She doesn't even know what money is. Thompson insisted that Eloise's charisma lay in her personality. She is a free spirit living in an enchanted world. She has so much to do and never enough time. But as Maitri Engel noted in Tablet, the dark side of Eloise was just as compelling. Children understand greed, sorrow, rage, and mania more than we know. Like her creator, Eloise bundled contradictions with pain and delight, nerve and exuberance, each taking its turn. No birds and bees for Eloise, Thompson once wrote as a song lyric. So young, so bright, so shy and so delightful, so frightfully. She really had a house that was a home, the Persian room, the diversion room, perversion room. So on your knees for Eloise, the beautiful queen called Eloise. So like, obviously Kay Thompson went through some shit. That's like radiating from all of this. And that makes me so, so emotional. Rest in peace, Eloise. You would have loved Amelia Bedelia. The back and forth would be everything. Oh, it really would. Because Eloise is an incredible female dynamic character. Like, she just has so much range to her. Because, like I said, Eloise is not a character. Eloise is an outlet for Kay Thompson's own pain and trauma and her desire to be herself. Like, Eloise is who Kay Thompson wants to be. Eloise is who Kay Thompson wishes she could be, wishes she was. And Eloise is really in all of us. Like, Eloise, that freedom and that spirit and that confidence, but also feeling so alone and feeling so neglected and feeling so unseen and unsupported. Like, that is girlhood and that is womanhood, of being like so in love with the world and having so much positivity, but also there's so much pain with it. Like, and it is that deep and it is that serious. And you might be like, oh, you're overthinking it. I'm not overthinking it. Like, I'm literally not overthinking it. You're going to make me cry. Good. That's what this is about. So that was the main like article. And obviously we did a bunch of other stuff too. This other one is much, much shorter, but it did have some details that I wanted to bring up. So blah, 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 super, super famous Kay Thompson. And it was her friend and editor that urged her to turn Eloise into a book. And before she became a showbiz sensation, Thompson was a little girl from St. Louis, and that's where she created the alter ego and would show Eloise off to friends, like we said. And she would announce, "I'm Eloise and I'm 6" to diffuse tension on anything. So like Eloise was Kay Thompson's companion from when she was a small child. So that makes sense as to why Kay Thompson is so defensive over Eloise and was like, I don't give a fuck about the money. Like, this is my companion. Eloise is her. So like she doesn't care about anything else. And Hilary Knight was her neighbor and the illustrator. Like we said, it became an overnight sensation, sold 150,000 copies within its first 2 years. I really wanted to include that. And like another fun little fact about her, when she lived in Rome, she had the legs sawed off her piano to move it into her apartment so that she could play music for her pet pug, Fennis. And then when she determined Fennis no longer liked the piano, she taught herself banjo. Like, all she cares about is herself, Eloise, and the dog. And that's her right. And then, like we said, it was, some people said that it was Donald Trump. This is clearly fake. That's not the truth. There is misinformation out there. So she did live there for 7 years. She was evicted, but she was evicted in 1973 and Trump took over in 1988. The pug liked the banjo better. Still, the Plaza had Thompson and Eloise to thank for helping it become a cultural touchstone. And that famous painting is there. And she said she got an anonymous call about it, where we do think she might have stolen it. We already did most of this stuff. So the pair of Hilary Knight and Kay Thompson, like we said, were passionate about doing books together. They went to Paris to research material for the Paris book, and when the publisher refused to pay for the second trip, Kay Thompson got the airline tickets in exchange for an appearance with the book, or in the book. So Sabina Airlines appears on 3 pages of Eloise in Paris. Like, Kay Thompson's a genius. And again, like, this is a side project to her. She was like, I'm not buying a fucking plane ticket for that. We'll just promo it. Like, original product placement, the OG. The concept for Eloise in Moscow was originally Eloise in England, but Thompson loved the idea of a wealthy little girl running around a socialist republic like the Soviet Union. And to further the point, she hid a little man in a trench coat on every single page. I'm excited to get this book in the mail and see what the fuck it says about the Cold War. Thompson's flamboyant personality could also be quite merciful, like when she halted publication on the Bath book. And then she also continued to be unflailingly herself into her old age. Apparently, she was still continuing to only drink Coca-Cola until she was 88 years old. And she left behind an indelible mark on music and culture, a host of showbiz icons who owe her their vocal performances. Because again, like, she trained Liza Minnelli, she trained Judy Garland, she trained Frank Sinatra, she trained all these insanely famous people. And a precocious little girl named Eloise, who taught us how to bang sticks against the wall, run up a flight of stairs to catch the elevator, how to never stop being ourselves, no matter how many boring grown-ups call you a nuisance, which is so cute. So this is the Eloise painting that's in the lobby of the Plaza. And then here's a picture of me there. I don't know how old I am in this picture. I think I might be like 10, maybe 11. And like the Plaza now has this little like Eloise store. I don't know if they still have the suite. They've had different Eloise things at different times. Like there's a tour, there's an experience. Someone here said they stayed there when they were a kid and Eloise sent them cookies. So here's another painting, because again, there's a couple, there's more art. Like Hilary Knight, incredibly talented artist, has continued to make Eloise art. And you can see, like, when they say, like, she's not pretty, but she's a person, like, you can tell she's not dressing for any type of, like, gaze or visualness. She's just, like, a kid running around in kid things. Here is Kay Thompson with the Eloise painting, and then here is another art. I think this one is from Hilary Knight that I found online. Here's some grabs from the movies. Again, I love the movies. Like, I'm so obsessed with the movies. I think they're so cute and so fun. Julie Andrews really is perfect casting. I'm pissed, though, because I made you guys a game, and I had a bunch of pictures in it, but Nearpod was having issues, and I kept getting error messages with the pictures, and it didn't work, and I had to change it back to questions, and that was lame. More with Nanny in tons of magazines. Like, this was incredibly popular. Love her stance there. Oh, this one with the, so like the Eloise stance, it's supposed to be like the George Washington. That's what it's modeled after, is George Washington's portrait, which I think is hilarious to have a little girl portrait modeled after George Washington. Eloise at Christmas Time, incredible movie. So let's get into a little more of Eloise in the Cold War. So Eloise and Nanny discover that not everyone in Moscow is a diplomat, and a host of other revelations, such as the rather deep voices of Russian pigeons. Like, I need to read this book. I'm so excited. This title in between the Eloise series was published in 1959 at the height of the Cold War, when tensions between the USSR and the USA were outright hostile. The thought that probably the leader of the United States, who was president in 1959, I don't know off the top of my head, but the president of the United States and the leaders of the USSR probably read this book. That's what kills me, is that Kate Thompson was like, and yeah, I am going to write it. And, like, she was so unserious about it. It seems like a deeply unserious book. But because of the time, they had to take it seriously. Eisenhower. Thank you. No, Reagan was later. Where was I? So this title of Eloise was published at the height of the Cold War, where threat of mutually assured destruction reassured no one. Eloise brings her disarming candor to Moscow, where despite her admission that I could tell you a lot, but I'm only 6, we do in fact learn and laugh with the precocious 6-year-old. Near fine oh, that's like a description. It was on like a website as a vintage sale. So I bought it. I will report back. This is some AI bullshit about the book, but honestly, we already talked about it. Like, the environment is unsmiling, blah, blah, blah. They're depicted as being in a fishbowl. This is what a blogger wrote about it, but honestly, it's a lot more of the same. There are times that you realize that defining something, a 5-star book, blah, 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 blah. Eloise in Moscow is quite different and amazing beast. It deserves its own space. So what's the space? It's gloriously eccentric and rather, that's how she says rather, I think, appealing, but also distinctly gobsmacking at points. It's a book which is very much a product of its time and opens with the vividly ominous sentence of, "They were expecting me." It's not what I expect from an Eloise book, these meshes of vivid and vile exuberance, so Eloise in Moscow starts in an odd place for me. A self-conscious place, exacerbated by the row of Russian faces arranged across the bottom of the double-page spread, and all of them looking at Nanny and Eloise. Behind Nanny and Eloise stands even more faces, so it's like very much like low-key American propaganda. Yeah, I'll do a live reading of it. Don't even worry. That'll be on the sketch. So yeah, the lines are isolated as they often are in Eloise text. It was rather chilly. Everybody watches everybody. You only go to Moscow once. I'm excited to read this. Maybe that's the right way to sum up this book, by acknowledging its context as a book written during a very specific time frame, but also remembering what it is about Eloise that's so lovely. The text itself is insanely richly evocative and exuberance. The book itself is a thing of utter fascination. In a way, it rather transcends and reminds of the intense power that picture books have. They're things that capture the world. It's up to us to decide how we look at it. I really liked this person's description, and I linked it at the end. So overall, I'm obsessed with Eloise. I think she's an incredibly important female character. I think she's such a good, genuine representation of girlhood. No, I don't think that. I mean, we'll see. I'll read it live. We'll see why she's in Moscow. But that's the thing. It's written from her perspective, so you never really understand anything. I love the art style. I think it's so fun. I just am a huge fan of this, and it made me really happy to share it with you all. And at the end of the day, we were girls together. This is me out doing all my Eloise shit. I went to New York with my mom on a business trip when I was a kid, and because I loved this book when I was younger, she was like, we should go see it. So literally, we were girls together. Like, please look at the painting. I'm with her in the painting. And the turtle and the pug, we love it. Right? I forgot about these, and then when I was working on this today, I remembered this, and I texted my mom. I was like, do you have pictures of me from the Eloise thing? And one thing about my mother, that iPhoto is organized. Your fit is even kind of giving Eloise. Oh, you could not tell me nothing in this Target. I remember this was my favorite outfit, and obviously I was in New York as a child, so I was going to serve my favorite outfit. The pop tip is giving. No, like, she had seen America's Next Top Model. She had a $30 Target gift card and a dream. Okay? I was in New York to network. All right? This was a business trip. Some children go to Eloise for child reasons. I was there on business, and I think you can tell from the way that I look, which is absolutely incredible. And I know you guys always like to get a little lore on me. And so I was really, really, really excited to include this. I know your demeanor matched hers too. That's one thing. I think that's why I liked her, is I felt very represented by her. Like in personality and the way we looked, like everything. Like small, I had hair like that, like all of that. And I think my mom saw that too and kind of like liked that I was crazy like that. So that's why she would like encourage it and get me all the things. But yeah, love, love, love. These were the sources for tonight. A lot of wiki, a lot of Eloise stuff, some blogs, etc., etc. I'm trying to be better about including my sources again. Updates and schedule. Actually, before we get into that, let me do a poll. Actually, I'll just ask you a question and you can just talk about it. Like, for those of you that had never heard of Eloise, what do you think? Like, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think of Eloise? Because the majority of you at the beginning of this voted and said you had never ever heard of Eloise. So I want to see your thoughts. I felt like this was a very lighthearted and fun stream. Like, it was deep, but it wasn't like heavy, in my opinion. Other than the fact that Donald Trump came up and that lady with her husband. Other than that, I felt like it was very lighthearted, which I really liked because normally that's not our vibe. Your fit is kind of giving Eloise. It really is. I think she's getting added to the vision board. I knew of Eloise. The deep dive was so insightful. That's how I felt like. It was like, and this was the perfect amount of info. Like, we were here. We got to talk. I loved this. I wish I knew about her when I was young. Then you would have the same personality as me. I was a Junie B. Jones girl, and the vibe I get from Eloise is a fancier, girlier version of her, so I'm on board. It's literally Tom. Thanks for subscribing. I'm going to the library tomorrow to read all the Eloise books that they have. As a theater kid, I'm beyond impressed with the lore of Liza Minnelli, Frank Sinatra, etc., but also now I deeply respect her entire story. Hadn't heard of her, but really enjoyed this lighthearted stream. Hadn't heard of her, looking forward to reading and watching. It's giving Madeline. I loved Madeline, too. I think it's just fun to understand a woman's story. You pulled memories from deep in my brain, like I forgot I liked these shows as a kid. I'm glad I watched. I almost skipped this, but I still don't like the movies even as a kid. So real, Meglord420. I hadn't heard of her. See, I'm glad that I told you all about this. I was also a girl with her. So, updates and schedule. Next week, we have Amy's Baking Company. Amy's Baking Company, it's time. I'm so excited for Amy's Baking Company. Then we have Monica from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Let me tell you why I decided to do Monica from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I just read, but I actually listened to the audiobook when I was driving in Kentucky, Heather Gay's book, and she wrote a whole chapter about Monica that was very telling and very interesting about how she like said she was divorced but lied, and lots of things that she lied about on the show that I thought it was just interesting. So I was like, I want to get into Monica from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. March 3rd, things I would do if I was rich. First little teaser I'm going to give you for that. I would fund so much goddamn poetry, because as someone who hates poetry, I think it's really good for society. So I would fund poetry. So that's going to be that kind of a vibe. We are going to have a recess. This is going to be the longest recess in the history of Misredacted streaming, but it's not that bad. It's only 2 weeks. I'm going to be on the West Coast. I thought about trying to stream, but honestly, on my laptop and hotel Wi-Fi with a time change, I just don't want us to be set up for failure. I don't want us to be set up for failure. So I was like, we'll take a little recess. It's totally fine. Deepest apologies. I feel bad. I'm going to miss you all. But we will be back on March 24th. With bees. Bees. Kind of like how we've done sharks and ants. Bees. And then March 31st, I'm doing a collab. I read recess as recession. Love recess. Let's make sure we hit the playground. March 31st, I'm doing a collab. I have never done this before. I need to play around with the technology. But instead of like one video with just me, there will be a second one that has Alyssa Megan in it. Alyssa Megan is a YouTuber who I happen to know personally through not internet things, but she's like a business person. She understands business and marketing and PR and all the behind the scenes. So I really wanted to collab with her, and I felt like this was the perfect place to do it. We're going to talk about influencer beauty brands, because I don't understand why every fucking influencer has a beauty brand, and some of them are amazing and then some of them are fucking horrible. So you can see this is her content. You can search her. She's on YouTube. She makes a lot of like kind of the business side of beauty stuff. I'm not super into makeup or beauty or products or any of that, but I am into like influencers and scamming, so I felt like this was the perfect thing for us to do together. Shitty makeup equals cash grab, exactly, and I am excited to get like the details on that. So it'll be a little bit different, but she's really, really cool, and I think you guys will like her. Yes, Megan. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this and send it to her. That's funny. I like you guys. Okay. Let's do our frickin' game about Eloise. Yeah. That's so funny. Like, the thought of there being so many Megans here literally didn't cross my mind, because why would it? So many Megans, so many St. Louis. I feel so powerful with you. Next time I have to pitch a brand deal and they say, can you describe your demographic? I'm going to be like, Megans from St. Louis. I'm crying at the Megans crawling out of the woodwork. Do they have the Valentine's Day one yet? Yes. And I love enable animations. What the fuck does that mean? All right, I guess no one do anything weird. I love that I didn't even plan it this way, but that the Eloise one is around Valentine's Day, so everything on the Nearpod is Valentine's Day themed. Megan's from St. Louis and one delusional gay. Oh, I'm in Nebraska. Sorry. It's okay. It's okay. So actually, my target audience is a Venn diagram of people from St. Louis and Megan, and then the people in the middle are like that's like the peak demographic right there. Oh, let me give you directions. Sorry. To join this, you can just follow the directions on the screen where I put a link in the chat. You can do it on your phone. You can do it in another window, whatever. I don't need your email. I don't need an account. I don't need any of that. It's just a fun little game. If it's like, download our app, make an account, you don't have to. You don't have to, but you can if you want to. I think you get better characters if you do. Midwestern Megan's Rise. I love the Midwest as someone who's gotten stuck there recently and has been there a few times recently. Love it. Love you all's culture. You're very nice people. So yeah, you can join, and this is just a fun little trivia game about what we talked about tonight, and it's just bragging rights. If you want to put your name in, it will come up on the screen. So if you don't want that to happen, put something funny. No, I am not on Discord, but I should be on Discord. I just don't really want to download any more apps, and I'm running out of storage. In college, someone had the same last name and also name starting with H. So when the professor took attendance one day, I corrected him and he called me Harriet. Turns out it wasn't me. That's hilarious. What happens when you were stuck in the Midwest? It seems like you were there forever. So what happened is that it snowed, which canceled our show. But then because it was snowing, I couldn't go home. And then my car had a problem and it was snowing and I didn't want to drive in that. So I just sat there for like an extra 2 days while my car got fixed. Yeah. Come to St. Louis. There's comedy here too. Yeah, Steven does a lot of comedy in St. Louis. So it's like very realistic for me to come there. I should actually get on that. And he actually said, he was like, I need to plan a St. Louis show soon. I have a lot of connections here. I'm going to go ahead and end TikTok. Love you so much. And I will see TikTok people next Tuesday. Those of you on Twitch, we're going to hang out and play the game still. What is the City Museum? I'm going to Google it because you guys have brought it up a few times. And I don't mean that shadily. I just mean it true. The City Winery. I love City Winery. City Museum chat would go crazy. Oh, I've heard of this. So it's like an indoor-outdoor adventure park, but like a lot of people get hurt there apparently. It's a nightmare. Yes. Did we talk about this? TTYL Diva. The creator was a weird guy. I think we might have talked about this before. Yeah, I need to go there immediately. My head is itchy. Her lore is insane. Oh, the lore is insane. Okay. I'm going to hit start in a couple seconds. Could do one class action park. A theme park in New Jersey that shut down. I love a good class action. One of the Discords I'm on is amazing. It actually may be only because we've only allowed 2 men in. Probably. All right. If you have not joined the game, it will let you join late. So fear not. Oh, Class Action Park is a movie? I don't think I've seen that. was trying to build concrete land and died in the process. I have heard about this. Steven actually told me about this. Dun dun. What is Kate Thompson known for aside from her books? I'm really mad that the picture questions didn't work because there were a lot of good ones and those were the funny questions and then I didn't have time to fix it. I wish we had a class chat outside of the stream, but I'm sure it's a lot of work to moderate. One thing I'm not against that I will put on my to-do list to figure out is I'll make that and then I'll pick a couple of you guys to be moderators. I'll just pick people that come to stream every week that I feel like have a good vibe that I recognize. And you guys can moderate it and I'll just have a disclaimer that I'm not moderating it. And if anyone's being like a huge fucking asshole, like send me an email or something and I'll deal with it. But I'll be in there, obs. But I think that like one thing I really appreciate about my fan base is that like you guys aren't dickheads. Like you guys are generally good at self-policing. Not that we need policing, but like you guys are generally good at like checking each other and things stay really respectful like 99.9% of the time. So I'm much more open to making a Discord than I think probably a lot of other creators are. St. Louis. Where did Kay move after her breakup? How did Kay come up with Eloise? Do you know Dr. DeSoto? No. The book about a mouse that was a dentist? I don't really like mice or the dentist, if we're being honest. Sorry. I think I might get more of these little cube things and like extend it that way. I don't really know where Mike is gonna go. It was a scary childhood cartoon book. Oh, I don't like scary stuff. The world is scary enough. Basil the Mouse Detective, also not familiar. Why was Nanny such an important character? Mr. Redacted made lemon pepper wings tonight and they were so good. Which world event is present in the Eloise literary universe? What are we learning about next week? I hate when people send me emails, and it's usually me. I email myself a lot, and then I see it, and I'm like, ugh, I don't want to do that. Amy's Baking Company. Does Mr. Redacted cook a lot? Yeah, I would say we're very 50-50. Both of us like to cook and both of us make very different things. Caitlin in first place, yay! Dolly, Saturn Cat, Megan, Nebraska, Lizard Beth, going to play in traffic, Meg Louise, Jade, Amanda, from Nebraska but not Megan, Melly Lynn, Saltines, Tanya Harding, Shootlace, Megan from St. Louis at Dutch Bros parking lot, good to see you, 1-800-MEGAN, good to see you, Megan St. Louis, number 3, Whitney Dakin, Eva, Skipper D, we are all Eloise, Lola, Casserole, Holiday, Rainbows, Not Meg, and Envy parking lot, the Meg and Plaza parking lot. Nice job. Any memes? Lemur Banana, you said that you found that drawing that was a parody of Eloise. I'd love to see that if you are still around. Anything to add? How are we feeling? How are we doing? How are we living? How are we laughing? How are we loving? Corporate needs you to find the difference between these two pictures, and it's the same picture. Oh, it's this one. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am Eloise. Oh, I misinterpreted. I thought the character Eloise was writing it. Drawings of Hillary Knight. Famous creator of the adorable plaza-dwelling brat Eloise. Kay Thompson was also a popular singer and vocal coach for the Stars. And the Imperious Think Pink fashion editor based on Diana Veerland. Profiling the 90s, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I have to sneeze. I feel God in this Chili's tonight. Oh my God, there's so many memes. I am Eloise. Thank you. See, you all found this. I told you I didn't try that hard. Oof. Trying to be chill at the function, but I can't help noticing how misogyny bleeds through the cracks of normal interactions. No, literally. I'm Eloise and I'm 6. And that's how Taylor felt in that moment. I did a stream about Taylor Armstrong, the woman in this meme. Please go watch it. It's on my YouTube. It's very important. Thank you all so much. This was so fun. I will see you next Tuesday for Amy's Baking Company. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Live, laugh, learn. And at the end of the day, what would Eloise do? Oh, wait, another meme. All of y'all watching Miss Redacted, apparently. No, literally. All right, love you so much. Adios.